Greetings, everyone. My name is Charles Kovach, the not safe for work presidential candidate campaigning for a more direct democracy. And because simply saying that I'm sick and fucking tired of a bunch of greedy, rich assholes having control over all of our lives over and over and over again gets kind of dull and boring and repetitive, I make videos talking about current events and other such topics that interest me as a way to garner attention to this campaign and this concept. And I've got a fun thing to share with you today. The first thing I'd like to tell you about is I've been contacted by the FBI. Nothing special. It's just because I'm a candidate and I'm registered with the Federal Election Commission. They sent out a generic email to everybody to make sure you watch this video. Well, what's in this video? Oh boy. You know, it reminded me about 20 years ago when I really needed money and wound up going to work for Walmart and seeing their anti-union propaganda. Yeah, that's basically what it was like. So the whole purpose of the video is preventing foreign interference in the U.S. elections. And it starts off by saying that other countries are trying to interfere with our elections, and the big bad, of course, is Russia, followed by China, and then by Iran. And the video goes through detailing how Russians are supposedly interfering with our elections, and the Chinese are supposedly interfering with our elections. But Iran, they're just kind of doing a thing, nothing really specific. You know, I would imagine that an intelligence agency would have something of saying, hey, watch out for this. But no, Iran's doing this really ambiguous campaign, apparently, to influence our elections. The video then goes on later to say that foreign powers are trying to delete voters off of the voter registrations or voter rolls in various areas, but admits that they've not had any success in doing so. So I wonder who's been deleting people off of voter rolls for the past, however many years in whatever elections, like, I don't know, primaries or other elections. Cross-check. Then the video goes on to say about foreign agents launching disinformation campaigns and deepfakes, and that foreign powers are most likely to encourage third-party voting. Of course, the U.S. government would never launch any disinformation campaign or deepfakes, or, you know, the mainstream media or mainstream tabloids. They'd never do anything like that. No, of course not. I found the most hilarious part, though, being the encouraging third-party voting. So basically, they're trying to say is anybody who isn't a Democrat or Republican is a foreign agent, either knowingly or unknowingly. What a crock of shit. And if you want to see this video, it's on the FBI's website under their counterintelligence section under protected voices. Go and enjoy the hilarity vicariously as if you were alongside me. So that's fun. Gotta love propaganda videos. Gotta love how the United States government is even sending out propaganda to candidates. Another thing I'd like to talk about is Facebook. And Facebook apparently sued some Israeli organization over hacking WhatsApp. So what I find interesting about this is that this organization hacked WhatsApp to get information through WhatsApp. And the reality here is they're suing this Israeli organization because, oh no, we want to be the one having all the information and manipulating people's data. We don't want you to have access to it. Even though Facebook does a whole lot of things for the Israeli government and helping to commit genocide against the Palestinian people, you know, justice still has to be served, right? But speaking of Facebook and Silicon Valley in general, you have, or the technocracy, you have these companies like Google and so forth. They are going to be helping with housing in their areas. I'm guessing the shit-covered parking lots full of people in trailer homes and living in their cars might have something to do with it. And once again, I'd like to make the statement that when you take power away from the government, you're giving it to somebody else, whether you realize it or not. So, if you give something the ability to have power over the government, then they become a form of government. And this, on its face, may seem like, oh, it's a good thing. You know, they're paying their dues and like they should be, and because they get out of paying taxes and all that. I just see the budding of corporate feudalism. And you know, I'm pretty sure I've said before, but Shadowrun was a game that I liked to play, not a world I wanted to live in. But then, of course, we've already had like a troll and an elf or two in the White House, so, you know, I guess we're fucked. But for those of you who don't know, Shadowrun is a world where governments don't really exist. Basically, police and other services are owned by corporations, and every area is basically a corporate feudalist state. There's a lot more that goes into it and a lot more nuance, but besides that, you also have the Internet of Things has already taken hold and so forth. But yeah, but what we're getting to today is actually reaching more nightmarish levels than even Shadowrun anticipated. And being that everything is so connected and the control of information, you have what really now are sedition wars. The sedition wars of information. Just like this FBI video that was talking about foreign disinformation campaigns, you have DARPA now coming out. You know, this is a thing that's been going around for a few days, but DARPA coming out and saying, oh, hey, we're going to have these little bots go around and censor all these stories that we determine to be fake news. So DARPA has now become the CCP light. I wonder when they'll go full CP. You never go full CCP. You just don't do it. It's not good. But on top of that, I was watching James Corbett before his report on this organization called NewsGuard, which you can go watch his video for the full ditty. But basically, it's an institution that says mainstream media good, independent media bad, and that's all you should believe. Why do I say sedition wars? That's because that is really what we are in the middle of. And don't think this is a new concept to a place like America. You had laws of sedition previously under Woodrow Wilson 100 years ago, and under John Adams. John Adams, right? Second president of the United States. I think it was John Adams. Pretty sure. Could be wrong. But anyways, as far back as the second president of the United States, you had laws of sedition. Really the land of the free, right? So this stuff is very important to take note of, because along with disinformation campaigns and bots censoring things, you know, I think back to that old Star Trek episode where they got the they were following the Nazis, and they had this guy who was the Fuhrer, and he was the control of everything. But when they got to it, it wasn't actually him there. They were just running a video of the person. So I think when you have these creators or these independent media outlets that garner attention, you know, maybe they might just disappear one day, and all their friends and family are saying, oh, I don't know where this person is, but other people, the people that don't know anything about the person, they see them still appearing in videos and whatnot. And, you know, they're still pretty much the same. Their message may have slightly changed, and it might slightly change more and more over time. But, you know, I'm sure that the people that know this person personally are just crazy, and that he's not actually gone, and, you know, maybe he just moved away and decided he didn't like them anymore. But then, why go through all that trouble? Why not just create a person and have that person be promoted? I mean, it's worked before. I mean, realistically, you think of people like Sarkeesian. Sarkeesian did not have a good message. She had a divisive one. There was no merits really in her message, but she was promoted like crazy because she was divisive, if you ask me. Realistically, she serves as an experiment of what those who want control over us are trying to do. So don't be surprised if you see this hip, new, independent journalist who's saying all the things that you want to hear show up on the scene. Or even if one of your independent journalists that you follow might all of a sudden be saying, maybe we should believe the government a little bit more. Everything is a double-edged sword, and we should be skeptical of everything, but at the same time, not go overboard. But ultimately, this all stems from people having power over us, and us still keeping that power system in check, which is why I want a more direct democracy. And if a more direct democracy is something that you want, then please share this idea, share this information about this campaign, and I thank you for your time.